This cabin was the home of John Weaver and Lucy Kenner Hinkle. Now, Weaver is John's middle name. That was his mother's maiden name. So it was John Weaver Hinkle. In 1873, John and Lucy built this home after they moved here from northern Alabama. They were here to homestead the 154-acre property here in Buren County. It's just up the road from Shirley, as I mentioned earlier. They were seeking a fresh start after the Civil War ended. Now, this cabin is only 14 by 16 feet. Now, that would be that main part of the cabin, the living quarters. Which sounds like a good time for a single person, maybe a couple wanting to live a quiet, simple life. But the Hinkles, they had 7 children when they moved here from Alabama. And you think, well, that's a lot of kids, to live in this cabin. They had another one. So then they had 8 kids. And then later, they had another kid, bringing the total family to 11. 11 people in this tiny cabin. So as I was saying, they moved here with 7 children and then having 2 more later. Well, actually, Miss Lucy Hinkle, his wife, passed away, and John remarried to a lady named Ida. I can't remember her last name. And then they had their final child here together. And that was the total of 11. So it says the kids slept in the attic, but I don't see an attic. There's not even any rafters in here, so maybe this has been reconstructed on the top. It doesn't look like it, but I don't know where these kids would sleep. 11 people in this little cabin here. So this is hand-hewn white oak timbers, all made by John and Lucy. Such a cool door. It's got a light blue stain to it. This is the way I build stuff. You just Hammer that over there. It ain't going nowhere. Old crosscut saw. This was used to tan hides. Some old steel traps. I'm not sure these are actually from the family. It might be just props. They used to have these signs right here. These little plaque things all around for these tools, and I guess all of them blew away. Last time I was here, I picked one up out of the weeds and hung it back up, but they're all gone now. There used to be something about this stuff here. This was the back porch, and it was a dedicated cooking and eating area, it says. So I guess there was a stove out here or something, or maybe they just used it to prepare the food. This has been replaced with plywood. I'm sure they didn't use plywood back then. We're a little jealous because we would love to have a cabin like this sitting on even an acre, but they had 154 acres here. Can you imagine being here on 154 acres in the 1800s with no traffic sounds? Purely quiet. It would be a dream, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Be nice.
And no cabin tour would be complete without an outhouse tour. And if you're a Hinkle and you need to tinkle, you need one of these. With a family of 11, you need a double barrel outhouse, complete with a vent fan. John Weaver Hinkle was quite the craftsman. He built this. It's very tough. It survived 2 tornadoes in its lifetime that we know of. One pretty bad one in 1930, and then another EF4 in 2008. Still looks good. I don't know if they had to replace any of the roofing or anything like that, maybe, but it's still here. I would say it passed inspection. The Hinkle family lived here in this cabin for decades. The last child was born in this cabin in 1932. I think his name was George. But then the last resident to live here was a guy named Roy Hinesley. He was kind of a local legend. He used to hitchhike and walk everywhere around Shirley and Rushing, which is a little town to the north. Roy Hinesley lived here until 1991. I'm not sure if he passed away that year. But that's the last year and the last time that anyone lived in this cabin. 1991. It looks like the tractors are coming to do some bush hogging and cleaning up, so we're gonna go and do something different. John and Lucy were actually buried just up the road here at a cemetery, Rushing Cemetery. We're gonna take a drive up there and see if we can find their gravestones. Come on, go with us. Here we are at the Rushing Cemetery at the community of Rushing. This is an old cemetery. It was established in 1888. We're here to find the gravestones of John Weaver Hinkle and Lucy Hinkle, somewhere in here. Well, their grave. Hinkle. You can barely see it probably, but John W., 1832 to 1925, and Lucy, 1842 to 1911. So John Hinkle was actually a Confederate soldier, and he fought for the Confederacy in the Civil War. And in later on in 1867, he signed a oath of loyalty to the United States after the war. And that was in Alabama, and then that was right before they moved up here to Arkansas. There's lots of Hinesley. Is this the, here he is right here. This is Roy Hinesley, the last resident of the Hinkle home. I believe this is him, because he died in 91. That was the last resident right here of the Hinkle cabin. Just stumbled on this. I just started walking away. The Hinkle tombstone's right there, and I just started walking and looked over, and there he was. These are really neat. Some hand chiseled rocks. And that says Confederate soldier as well. Confederate States of America. Right there. CSA. 1836 to 1911. We just want to do a quick look at that cabin a little closer and tell you the story behind it and the history and all. Probably didn't go into too much detail, but it's a little more than the last video that we showed it. And then we came here to see where their final resting place. Please like and subscribe and follow, share. What else?
And comment.
Yeah, comment. Got a bug in my eye. These bugs are bad. This is Nerd County Project. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Later. And with a family like the Hinkles, Lee, come on.
You're getting it. Just hang in there.
I'm getting stupid with it now.
No, that's good though. That's laid back, but you're getting really good at it.